Hello everyone. Now I'm going to speak about the structure of literary work. My full name is Xusenova Mehriniso. About literary structure, what is itself? Literary structure refers to the organization and arrangement of elements within a written work. This understanding correctly the structure of literary work, it helps to the readers to identify the main subject of this literary work, and also it provides a framework for the narrative and helps convey the author's message, his opinions, idea, what did he want to say to the audience. And of course, understanding structure, it enhances comprehension and analysis of literature. Plot is the main element. We can say that plot is a crucial component of literary structure. That's why while we are going to analyze the structure of literature, any literary work, first of all we must pay attention to the main elements of plot. First of all, what is plot? Plot is a sequence of events in a story, in any literary work, novel, novellas, and others. It is the logical structure that connects events and it creates a narrative. Plot answers to the questions what happened in this story, in this literary work. It typically follows a specific pattern or structure. We can say that plot is essential for engaging readers and maintaining their interest to the audience. That's why we need to analyze plot. And we can say that there are 5 main elements of plot. The first one is exposition, second one is rising action, climax, then falling action, at the end it is resolution or denouement. These 5 elements they work together and create a cohesive narrative arc. First of all, we will start about exposition. What is exposition? We can say that exposition, it is introduction to the story. It gives at the beginning of literary work. It provides background information and sets the main sense. And of course, exposition includes 2 main things. They are characters and setting. And sometimes it shows the initial conflict. Here we can say that setting includes time, place, and background information about environment. For example, To Kill a Mockingbird in this book, exposition introduces the main characters, one of main characters, Scott and Jem, and social life and people's attitudes, their life in Macomb, Alabama. It is one example. Briefly, exposition, it is introduction to the story. The next one is rising action. And it is the important and the most interesting part, we can say, because rising action, it is a series of events that build tension and complexity. And in rising action, all events, it develops conflicts and challenges for characters. We can say that all events, they go to the climax, and we can say some conflicts, developments of conflicts. And of course, rising action increases reader engagement and anticipation. Readers mostly they are interested in the rising action because we can see different events. For example, in tragedy Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare, the rising action includes the secret marriage with Romeo and Juliet and the Tybalt's deaths, because these events they influence, they develop conflicts and there are different challenges in characters. Climax. We can say it's also called a culmination. It is the turning point. Climax, it is the most exciting and turning point, the highest tension in the story. Often the most exciting or dramatic part. It represents a point of no return for characters. It is the most exciting, riveting part of any literary work. For example, Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald, the climax here occurs during the confrontation between Gatsby and Tom in the auto, because it was the most exciting and dramatic part in this book. Well, the next one is falling action. After the climax, the events, they go to the falling action, and this falling action leads to a denouement or resolution. Falling action, it is the events following the climax that lead to the story's end, and it shows the consequences of the climax. Begins in falling action, the event, it begins to resolve conflicts and tie up loose ends. Example, the famous book 1984. The falling action includes Winston's time in the Ministry of Life, because after these events, it ties up to the ends. Well, and next one is resolution or denouement. You can say it is the end of the literary work. It is the conclusion of the story, and it resolves the remaining conflicts and reveals the final outcome. It provides closure for characters and readers. Example, famous book which is written by Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice. The resolution shows the main character, protagonist Elizabeth and Darcy marriage and their future. It is resolution and denouement. Okay, and we can say the plot, it is a visual presentation of the 5 plot elements in a typical arc shape with labels and for each element. Wow, we have, which I have mentioned 5 elements. Okay, exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution or denouement. There are 5 main elements, but we have, in literary work, we can also analyze additional plot elements which helps to understand the story deeply. They are conflict, foreshadowing, flashbacks and subplots. What is conflict? Conflict is the central problem or struggle in the story. Well, there are 2 main types of conflict. They are internal and external. Internal, it is character with oneself, with himself or herself. External with other sides, struggling with other sides. For example, man and another man, character and group of people, character and the society, character and nature, character and supernova, etc. We can say that if there is conflict, there can be rising action. If there is no conflict, we can't see the rising action. That's why we need conflict. Next one is foreshadowing. It hints or clues about future events, sometimes for make readers to improve readers interesting to the story. They give some hints or clues about future events. Well, flashbacks. It's also interesting element, but we can't see this element in all literary works. For it, it's up to the style of writers. They show events from the past. Sometimes some characters, the main characters of literary work, they remember, they look back, and in this case they need some flashbacks. It's also a main element, but in this point I'm going to mention one thing. Readers shouldn't confuse or must distinguish the time which is given exposition and the time in flashback. The last one is subplots. It is secondary storylines that support the main plot. But another story, another plot which is given in the main plot, but they must be related. Well, and we have types of plot structure. I have counted the main elements, but their order can be changed. According to this one, we have 4 main types of plot structure. The first one is linear. It means events occur in chronological order. Exposition, conflict, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution or denouement. It is in order, chronological order. Non-linear, it means events are presented out of chronological order. It means that sometimes writers want to show some climax first of all, then it looks back and maybe start exposition after showing climax. It's up, again, I want to mention that it is up to the reader's style or types of work. And next, it is non-linear. And the next type is circular type of plot structure. It is very interesting type because the story ends when it begins. We can see some books, novels, which were written in this type of plot structure. And the last one is parallel. It means multiple storylines occur simultaneously. It means there are different types of plot structure can be used. Well, and what plot is important in literature? First of all, plot engages readers and maintains interest. Plot provides structure and organization to the narrative. Plot helps convey themes and messages. Plot helps to the reader to identify the main themes, subject, and idea of literary work, for analyzing, for giving, for making conclusion, etc. And of course, plot allows for readers it allows for character development and growth. It facilitates emotional connection between readers and story. That's why we need plot and analyzing it correctly. Well, and for analyzing plot in literature, we have some main criteria. The first one, the reader must identify these 5 main elements of plot. Second one is examine how conflicts drive the story forward. The third one is consider the pacing and tension throughout the narrative. Analyze how plot events reveal character, motivation, and growth. And the last one is explore how the plot structure contributes to the overall theme. That's why analyzing plot in literature, it is very important for understanding the meaning of this literary work, for understanding what is a writer going to say us. Well, and to conclusion, we can say plot is a crucial, a fundamental element of literary structure. Understanding plot enhances literary analysis and appreciation. There are 5 main elements work together to create a compelling narrative. And various plot structures and additional elements add depth to the stories. Analyzing plot helps uncover deeper meaning in literature. That's why we must know the main structure of literature and analyzing them. Well, it was all. Thank you for your attention. I hope that this information will be useful for you. Thank you.